we have so many bands, but they are cover bands. They're doing music that's not theirs. So the people that actually do music as bands, it's only Afrigo. The others?
I think.
Are these not creative people? Like, how come there's nobody else who wants to be like Afrigo?
Ken Daniels from Swahili Nation joins us once again for another mind-blowing conversation. I'm here with
mind-shaping
and blowing and provocative at the same time. I'm here with my brother Josh, the Fixer. Please take it away.
Good to have myself on the show. Shout out to my mother, my grandmother.
Tuma salam, umetuma salam.
Yeah, you know, it's a rare moment to have Kenzo Daniels on the show.
Yep.
Good to have you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Have you had any creative impact? Straight up.
I think I have.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I have.
Today we want to talk about creating a lasting legacy and having creative impact as a creative. Can you define for us what this means, creative impact?
Well, creative impact is when you are able to create something that stimulates other people to want to try and do something as you or even better than you. You get people to really think about. The first creative impact I've ever had in my life is when I first saw Michael Jackson. You know, I wanted to dress up like him. I wanted to dance like him.
The moonwalk.
The moonwalk. Thank God I did not want to change my skin color. But he had.
But if you had the ways,
No,
if you had the resources.
I'm black and I'm proud. but creative impact is doing something that is going to get other people to follow suit and to want to be like you. And it's not just for this particular era, but the next era and the next era. And for you,
It's a generational
it's
thing.
a generational
Yeah.
thing. And yeah.
Forever, ever.
Basically change how people see and do things.
Exactly.
That's creative impact.
Exactly.
Push, who locally, who is that person? Or who are those people who have had creative impact? In the way Ken has described it.
There are some notable people.
For example?
The only problem we have is that we're not good at documenting our icons, our legends, our game changers, people who shape narrative and things like that. But off the top, people like Jimmy Karatumba. He's the reason we have, guys like Lutaya is currently, I think, Alex Legislature, an MP. He's the reason we have the Egos production. If you look at people like Moses Matov, the consistency of being a household band, I mean, a name.
Afrigo.
Afrigo, you know. The president, I mean, His Excellency, I mean, running a country 40 years in Africa in this turbulent...
Is that creative impact or dictator impact?
No, it takes creativity to run a country like Uganda for 40 years.
Okay.
For 40 years.
That's okay.
You understand?
Let's take it to the creative arts.
Creative arts, yes.
Yeah.
People like Steve Jin.
Yeah.
Steve
Okay.
Jin. I mean, people like Steve Jade, from a singer, then into a producer, cutting edge events management. Like Peter Sematimba, the guy who gave us our current pop sound. People like Maddox Sematimba for championing our, the local reggae, sonic texture. Swahili Nation, how can I forget Swahili Nation? I mean, these guys give us, R&B. They were our closest. This is the closest I could get to Boyz II Men, H-Town, Silk, Shy, Jodeci, name it. You understand? So, I mean, I could go on. And Alex Mukulu. Theater.
Yeah, Alex Mukulu.
Alex Mukulu,
I hear
theater,
you,
the Bakaimbira, all these guys,
I've had creative impact.
Impact, yes.
Yeah.
The Muhanjis of this world, the Tuwanjis of this world, because of who's this guy who did new? He was a lone actor, like he used to act with a goat.
Chamlavi.
Guys like that, but these guys are not documented.
No,
you know?
they're not,
So.
yeah.
Man, we are rich. We are rich. It's a rich.
What was that guy? He used to act with a goat?
Yeah, with the goat.
A sheep.
It was a sheep. It was a sheep. Yeah,
yes,
like
it was a sheep.
He would sell out every theater at that time. Every region, every town in Uganda had a theater, you know, and he would sell out, and he would be alone on stage with a sheep, talking to it, and like he would have like 5 shows in a day, all sold out. So guys like that, I mean.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have creative impact, and then the outcome of that is a legacy. You know, what do you understand by legacy?
It's. I feel like it's such a dicey title, legacy, because it's so loosely used. You know,
leaving a legacy. Like I would say, oh, Ken has passed on, but man,
this is,
you know, he had creative impact, and his legacy was
this.
Or his legacy has lived.
Yeah.
Because it goes beyond you, but your legacy is ... So what should we expect?
For me, I'm still working on legacy, and I was an artist, but I think my most important work is being able to help the next generation to be empowered, to understand the industry, and to take it to the next level, to a level that we probably were not even able to reach, you know. So a legacy is not just what you did for yourself, but what you can do to impact others in order for them to really take it to the next level, to aspire, exactly. So to inspire others to do even better is a legacy that everybody should aspire to leave for others. So for me, the legacy for us, Swahili Nation, is we started a thing that we did not know what it was. And it was really just taking the language, the Kiswahili language, and mixing it into our R&B and really staying true to that. So many times people came up to us and said, you know, hey, this name, Swahili Nation, you know, doesn't really go well with the whole white culture and stuff like that. And, you know, remember that time there was Zulu Nation, you know, Africa Bambata, blah, 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 blah. So now, you know, Swahili Nation, come on, it speaks of war and you're trying to fight the white power and you can't really. And I was like, how about it is our culture? It is where we're from. That we're representing. It's our heritage. We're representing that which we are born from. You know, we're representing our seed, our
straw, background.
And we're not trying to fight anyone. We're trying to promote who we are. And so the head of Sonnet Music at that time, he was like, I'm down with that.
It was authentic and
original.
Yes.
So for us as a group, the legacy was to uplift our people in a way where we can be proud of ourselves in a world that was not accepting us, and to say that this is who we represent. Yes, we were, like you said, the Jodeci's, the Boyz II Men. The boy band culture was so strong, and it was mostly American and British. And here's some East African kids trying to also put in their little 2 cents.
I mean, represent their own cheerleaders. You know?
Exactly.
You have to be your own cheerleader.
Exactly. And so for us to see groups like Sauti Sol, to see other groups that have come after us and keep doing that. You know, the other day I was listening to the song Sauti Sol did with Yemi Alade, Live and Die in Africa. That.
Body in Africa or something like that.
It actually made me feel proud because even though
we laid the foundation.
We laid a foundation for this music to be accepted. Of course, you know, we still haven't gotten the flowers yet, but, you know, but we were the first guys at the front line of getting that music, and to us, that's the legacy that we leave behind.
The producer can put flowers. So
you refuted my submission of His Excellency, but a man gave us another rap. Patented it. But it's patented.
It's patented.
Yes.
Before we go there, let me just time you. The stories are so interesting, you might lose time. So I wanted to, I had a description of legacy, which was something to do with being consistent,
Yep.
authentic,
Yep.
and a visionary.
Yes.
Speak to those three.
Wow. I want to start.
And consistency is not really just showing up,
Yeah.
but showing up and evolving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speak to those three: consistency, authenticity, and vision.
Yeah. I'll start with consistency.
Yeah.
Because I think one of the worst things that an artist can do is not be consistent.
Yeah.
You know, you want to always show up 100%, even in the worst situations. I remember us going to do shows, and there's no backstage. We didn't do a sound check. The money's not right.
The money is not long.
The money's not long. Money's short.
Yeah.
You know, things were not right. But people have an expectation of you.
Yeah.
And that speaks to consistency. You know, that you have to really, you know, obogena kufumbira ku sigiri, oba ku gasi, oba ku masanyalaze. Find a way to make that food taste good. You know?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that is consistency. Authenticity is being true to your art. Regardless of what, you know. I remember that in the 90s, there was so much cry for people to do that Eurodance music style. And here we were calling up Gerard Nadibanga, come and play some Baganda drums, Nankasa, on this song called Mpenzi, and we're going to do some South African thing on it. And an American friend of mine came in and he was like, nah, what is this? You know, isn't it a little too African? And I said, it is, but it is us. That is who we are. But we are going to turn this authentic African feel and make it R&B. So we had different things. If you listen to that single, it had so many mixes on it. Yes. It had pop, it had
New Jack Swing,
it had New Jack Swing,
house.
it had house, it had, you know, because everybody wanted a bite of it, you know. But the one that really cut across was the one that was authentically Swahili Nation, you know. So that is the
There's a sexual healing version.
Yes, there was a sexual healing version, exactly.
On drums.
Yeah, exactly. On drums. On drums. What was the other one?
Vision. Being a visionary.
Being a visionary is for you being able to literally look into the future and
predict.
And say that, you know what, I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to take a shot at this. I don't know where I'm going to come out, you know, which side of the cave I'm going to come out.
Yeah.
I'm either coming out where dinosaurs are eating me, or I'm coming out where there's paradise. I'm not sure, but I'm going to take a chance and a shot at it. But I believe I'll come out at the right cave.
So is this something reserved for creative geniuses, or anybody can have a creative impact and a lasting legacy?
I think anybody can have a creative impact and a legacy. Everybody can.
What does it take? I mean, why do we have few? Why do we have few Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Why do we don't have Moses Matov? The next one, we're not seeing them. We don't know if we're going to have them. I mean, today, we have so many bands, but they are cover bands. They're doing music that's not theirs. So the people that actually do music as bands, it's on Afrigo. The others?
I think.
Are these not creative people? Like, how come there's nobody else who wants to be like Afrigo? And I'm speaking in our space here. So that means creative impact and legacy is only left for certain few individuals. Is that it? Or
Oh Lord, I think there's something that we're forgetting, and very few people have that. You know, it's the stuff of sacrifice. What are you willing?
Ultimate.
Yes,
Ultimate sacrifice.
exactly. What are you willing to do to attain and achieve success? Success is not easy, bro.
yeah,
It's not easy.
you sure?
It's
I'm trying.
Yeah, it's sleepless nights. It's sometimes
Loneliness.
eating that bread with some water. You know, it's
Sometimes it includes divorce.
yes, it does. But it is that sheer belief in the core belief
your
in
vision.
yourself, in your vision,
Yeah.
and knowing that, man, this is the right thing for me to do. You know, regardless of the storm that is around me. So how many bands in Uganda have the ability to say that, you know what, you just try and call a band and say that I want you to play behind this artist because I believe in him and I think that if he plays behind you guys can go places. The first thing that's going to come up is the money issue. Sasula Meka. You know, nobody
And
has...
I'm like, Tofa, you said
Yeah,
this is-
exactly. Nobody has the fortitude to have vision these days. To say that I believe
Nobody
in...
has the fortitude
To have vision.
to have
to
vision.
have vision.
Yes.
Damn.
Impatient.
Yep.
Super impatient.
Bro, go
Do you-
sabula.
Wait, do you know what Moses Matovu has had to sacrifice just to preserve himself and the brand Afrigo? He had 3 members. Percussion Discussion Africa Breakaway. Okay? There's Joe Anita, who occasionally comes in and out. Rachel Magola went into parliament. But Muzei alemede kuchintu. Afrigo band is a Afrigo band. You understand? He could have chosen to, I don't know, be a slacking or whatever, or just retire and, you understand, give up. There are several of his peers, you know?
Yeah.
People like Alex Mukulu could have chosen to be something else. But for someone like Moses Matovu, where Bebe Cool has a booking, where Shiba has a booking, where Cindy has a booking, there's an Afrigo band banner. Where I have a booking, there's an Afrigo band banner. It's sacrifice.
It is
And you know
sacrifice.
his place? Just see Chibuli here. Chibuli here. He could have sold that plot and, okay, it's his home, but the studio is also there. He could have decided the inconveniences, and I don't know much about his personal life, whether he's married or he has kids or not, but God knows what he's gone through.
Yeah, but if you look at some of these guys, some of the very successful guys, I remember my brother went to Prince's house in Minnesota, and he was like, "Yo, this dude was lonely. You know, the house is just like this hollow thing. It was just his space. He even had a stage in there. He had an elevator, the one that he died in. You know, but you could see that for him to be Prince, the incredible sacrifice of, you know, almost dehumanizing sacrifice, because you have to let go of people.
Yes.
You know, at some point you have to let go of people and do you know. So sometimes that's what it takes to be, to have that consistency, to have that vision, and to just be able to do what you need to do.
Who was telling me Afrigo band apparently master their music from Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Is that true? Can you find out?
We can verify, but the people who have shared this information with me are people I respect in the industry.
Okay.
You know, yeah, people I respect, and you can listen to their sonic, you know, their sound. It's not what we have here. It's not what we have here.
Okay, that's
There's a guy called Ocheng. Apparently, it's called Ocheng. We can verify. We can verify this.
So now, I think we need to agree from what you've just said. We need to agree that this is stuff of sacrifice.
Yeah.
Trying to work on your legacy. It's
is.
stuff of a sacrifice. So now, again, on this show, we try really, or we want to try not to be marriage counselors who are not married, you know? Give advice that is really helpful, and also we have lived it. Okay? I'm just building my legacy. But now I want to know, how do you start and work on a creative legacy? Is there a way? Bush, this is to you.
Actually,
how do you?
I'm very lucky.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky and perhaps blessed. Someone else could use that word. To be alive and witness what you're asking. Perhaps this is when I have the bragging rights. Okay, seeing my creative legacy in motion. The first thing is, actually, when you start out, you don't even know that you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're never intentional.
Exactly.
Some crazy level of...
He said they did not know what they were doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some
How
crazy
powerful
level
it
of
would be.
inspiration just comes in and you find yourself putting things in motion. You aspire to, affirmations, to manifest. Okay? But while you're at it, they're admirers. I don't like calling them fans. They're admirers who are like, okay, how does he do it?
Like there are other DJs
Yes.
who question what you're doing.
Exactly.
Not question a bad way, but in
They're like, like, I want to be with you. How he told us in some previous episode how he came and he got Luther Martin Chintu, put him on a bus. He identified someone, okay? A fellow Ugandan. Put him on a bus, Nairobi, filmed him, okay, on VHS, flew back to Europe, presented that as a demo. That is, sometimes you don't know, it's like,
faith.
it's like faith.
Yeah.
Blind faith. Okay? It only hits you, I think, when you die. We just lost Quincy Jones recently. But it's a gift to die and actually see your legacy in motion and live. People like Steve Jobs to lie on his dying bed and he's able to do an interview and he says, the biggest regret I have is not spending time with loved ones and things like that. And for me, I interpret that in a sense that perhaps he regrets not spending time doing things he was passionate about, not necessarily his wife or son or daughter, whoever. You understand?
Yeah.
But I think I'm one of those guys. I've been lucky to see the impact of my work, okay? How it has changed lives, shaped opinion, shaped trends and culture. You understand? So sometimes you just don't know that you're doing it. God knows how the inventors of aviation, the Wright brothers, of course, one died. They thought they would consume, lots of Red Bull and
can
get
you
wings
imagine?
and then. But today, aviation is.
But
look
what
at
I'm saying
aviation.
is, like, can you imagine being one of those guys and just literally thinking that we can fly?
Yeah.
I mean, think about the boldness of that,
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, like, how many people today could think in terms of, like, let me go jump off a cliff and see if this thing
Can balance in the air.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, to build or to start, the building block, the first building block is belief.
Belief. Exactly. Faith.
Yeah.
Belief, faith,
Yeah.
yeah.
Faith. Like
There's
I
a
can
leap.
take you
Yes.
to Nairobi.
Yes.
I don't know where this is going.
define
but
it along
let's
the
just
way.
go and
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Kuya Kaimba.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the most dangerous part of that journey is when you develop self-awareness. When you realize that actually you're onto something.
Yeah.
It can make or break. Now we see Elon Musk. Elon Musk now knows he has that power.
Yeah.
In Uganda, we have Chameleon. The day Chameleon realized that he has a special star, that he can walk down the old taxi park and the whole town can come to standstill, he realized a superpower. You understand? So sometimes you don't know these things. So, but it's belief.
Does it come out of experimentation? Like, is it?
It's an experiment. It's an innocent experiment.
It is.
Yeah.
It really
it's an
is.
innocent experiment. Then eventually it turns into a cause.
Yeah.
A cause that then solves, either problems within your locality or maybe even global.
Okay, so now we have
Okay.
belief.
Yes.
And we are trying to build, we are trying to tell somebody
Yes.
young there that it's possible, but it starts with self-belief.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
What's the other ingredient?
Confidence that this is not by accident. You see, the way we have been created, the stuff that we're created with is pretty incredible. Think about it. A child is born, and this child, just by seeing around people walking around, he dares to get up and try that thing. That thing of walking.
Observation.
Exactly, through observation. And he falls. Not once, not twice. He falls a couple times, you know. Eventually, he kind of like stabilizes and gets it together, you know. And you have never told him to believe in himself, that he can do it.
No.
Nobody ever had to sit him down and say that, hey, listen, little Mikey, you know, you are 8 months old.
Push, baby.
but you can do this. Yeah. No, through observation and the stuff that he is being built with is like, I'm supposed to be doing that. You know that if you take a 6-month-old baby and throw them in a pool, they will automatically start swimming. You know,
that's true. I've seen that.
Yes. So there's a part of it that is instinct. There's this instinct. You know, the day that they put a mic in my hand, it was at a church in Nairobi, at a Good Shepherd's Church. I was very young, and my mom said that my Sunday school teacher said that today, Ken, you are going to lead the choir. And the song was called I Am a Promise. I am a promise. I am a possibility. I am a promise. And I started off like, oh my gosh, all these people are looking at me. But then something came over me and I was like, I was dancing. My mom was like, whoa, what is happening, bro? Like, you are not doing the regular child stuff. But there was an instinct behind it that said that, you know, maybe you should be doing this, you know. Yeah. And then it came from that to like trying out some breakdancing and this and that and that. You can really see a person and know that they are built for certain thing, you know, because God blesses us with different, you know, things. We don't know where these things come from. So that belief has to start with maybe this thing is something that I should be doing, and maybe I should really work on developing it and making it really work, you know? Yeah. So there is that. Now, of course, with today's social media and the technology that has been developed, you know, the art of discovery, is this really the stuff that I'm made of? Yeah. Is a bit lost because of the fact that we have the technology to guide, the tools to help us.
That was leading to my next question.
Yeah.
And goes to Bush. How much of this requires guidance? I mean, to become the best person that you can become, how much of this requires guidance?
So the most I can do...
Is it measurable guidance? Is it that's enough, I think I can... Like he said, you don't tell a young child to walk. They just walk. Okay? Of course, they will need mentorship along the way to become... a thinking adult. But when you are a creative, a writer, an instrumentalist, a vocalist, a graphic designer, a filmmaker, anything creative, you want your work to be remembered. You want your work to shape culture, okay? You want everybody to moonwalk. You don't want it then when you're doing it.
Yes.
But if you die and come back and you're like, hey, so how much of that do you credit to guidance?
In terms of mentorship?
Yeah.
I think by default, you would want to see, that's if you're well-intentioned. You'd want to see...
Is there a creative who's not well-intentioned?
I mean, there are people who are not comfortable sharing.
A bang.
Just kidding. Who are not comfortable sharing. I mean, they would... Have you ever seen a producer mix or master?
No.
You tell me, have you?
No.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know?
I usually
even
don't,
a videographer.
Yeah. I usually don't want to stick around.
I'm going to color grade your video. So can I be around? No, I have another shoot and...
Yeah,
you know, so there are elements like
selfish.
that. Yeah. But perhaps maybe that's when they are in the zone.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not a gift that is shareable.
Yeah.
Okay? But there are some obvious things that you can pass on based on your script. Okay? So my template might not be his template or your template, but I can share that and it can inspire or motivate, okay, you to build now to craft your own how I anchor the news, how I twang, how I project my voice, how I, how my signature as a DJ. It can also enable, through observation again.
Right.
You can watch and be like, okay, this is how he scratches, this is how he cuts songs.
But Bush, there's something that I want to touch on when it comes to that. So you talk about mentorship. Can somebody be guided to
a lasting legacy, creating a lasting legacy?
So speaking from an artist perspective, there's something that we don't do here in Uganda, and that is probably one of the missing links in the music industry, that why our artists are not as refined as, for example, an American artist. American artists go through something called artist development. In fact, a lot of labels, sometimes they find an artist that is really, really good, but not quite there. And they're like, oh, we don't want to really leave you out to the market, so we'll just sign you to artist development for now.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? That means that they'll put different mentors with you, to work with you to really refine this thing, this talent.
And that costs money.
It does cost money.
Yeah.
So they'll put like an amazing choreographer with you. They'll put like a stylist with you to really figure out what is your style. You know what is. Don't just dress up to dress up. I have seen so many artists come to like either interviews or whatever. They don't really have a style. You can't define who they really are. They'll just wear whatever. You've noticed Ugandan artists, they just wear whatever anybody. But American artists are very well defined in what they wear. You know the style. Either he has a big hat, or if you.
But you see, there's a playbook.
There's a playbook.
There's a playbook.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a playbook.
So the guiding part, for an artist is that artist development that really helps. You already have come to me with the right stuff. You already have the talent. You already have the whatever. But now I just need to refine the edges a little bit to make sure that now you have the right stuff. So George, somebody can come to you and they're, hey, you see that they really got talent. They can actually shoot a video. They can actually cut a little bit. They can do whatever. But now you, with the experience that you have, you can guide them and tell them that what was your thinking here and all that. So the same with you, Bush. I could come to you and say, I want to be a DJ. I already know how to play music, But there's something that makes you different from everybody else. Why is Bush the guy they call and book?
Yeah,
all
the time.
The Congolese actually also have that, maybe because they have an overdose of musicians. But you find Koffi Olomide, if he lost a band today, he can marshal up or assemble a band within seconds, and he's on tour. You saw Papa Wemba the late. He was actually in trouble over that. I think he was accused of human trafficking. But the Congolese do it so well, passing on that knowledge.
Passing on the knowledge, right?
If you go on Instagram and TikTok right now, you come across kids drumming, playing, they're beating jerry cans and cans and the melodies they're producing. You're like, oh my God, if only somebody with resources could just discover this. But things like that, again.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we have this trend. It's not new. Social media is really old now.
Yep.
I mean, it's old school.
I used to say digital is the future.
Facebook was
when
2004. It's how old now? 20 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So 2004 is 20 years?
Yeah.
Damn.
And you're already singing. I see no gray. Anyway, so the thing I'm going to is the new currency, followers. Is this something that we can use to measure creative legacy potential today?
Whoa, that's.
It means you've built a community.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you might be
followers
a genius. You play sick chords.
Yes.
You have no following.
It's possible.
And then you have this guy who's
it's possible.
And he has a following.
Yeah.
So now I'm asking, is this a tool we can use to measure creative legacy potential?
Social media?
Followers.
Oh, followers.
Followers.
Nah.
Early on in your
Nah.
In your
I don't-
journey.
Yeah, in your journey.
In your journey.
Yeah.
I don't, like social media is such a, it's a fraud in a way because it can give a false
Validation.
validation, because, I've seen, my daughter has done videos on social media where she's singing her heart out.
Yeah.
And she gets 200 likes. And then a video of a chick with the ass walks across the street and she gets 15,000 likes, So the question is the following builds up, because
That work was creative.
what did it communicate?
Yeah.
When you saw somebody extremely creative doing something and he gets very, very few likes or followers, and somebody just walked by with an ass, to me, it communicated that we're horny as fuck.
Yeah.
We see a woman, and oh my gosh, our impulses are like, oh man, I want to watch this video.
I think we're in an era where we are spoiled for choice, but if that tool is strategically deployed, you're likely to establish your right audience, the actual target audience.
Yeah.
The reason Tyra can put out something and doesn't get, is perhaps she's communicating to the wrong audience.
Oh, yeah, there's that too.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think strategy, because someone says social media is not a real place, or Twitter is not a real place, but we're here with Fatboy, and Fatboy drops something on Twitter or on X, and
people get angry.
at real people, not you guys would say. I think it's about strategy. How you strategically deploy that, how you milk that.
But he also says social media or having followers. I mean, we've seen this happen so many times.
Yes.
DJ Bush BB and Friends, your brand, you probably have 15,000 followers on X.
Yes.
They don't show up for your shows. You have like 500.
There is a possibility they are global.
Yeah.
There are those who can make it.
So now that yardstick becomes questionable, And now, do these numbers affect? I'm talking about his fraud take. Do they affect your consistency, your authenticity? I mean, would you use them to actually further your vision? Like,
to me,
to become,
if your content has substance, I'll give a very wild example. MAGA. If you're MAGA,
Do you have substance?
Guys, let's keep it here. That's a whole different ballgame.
You see?
Okay?
Yes.
But here, we're talking about
a platform.
Someone today wants or has a vision to be better than a frigo. You understand?
Yes.
And he or she has studied their ways of working, their staying power. And it's like, first of all, I'm not going to do cover songs. No. I'm not going to be these every Wednesday, Friday here. Basically, you're around the clock, but you have no original music. And they're like, no, that's not me. That's not my band. Then what's the next thing they do? So they want to be authentic. Second thing, they want to be consistent. Third thing, of course, their vision. And now they have the belief. What measuring stick do you have at the start of your journey? Social media, okay? How much of that plays into you thinking, I think we're onto something?
It has to be organic.
Yeah.
It has to be organic.
Yeah. I mean,
and measurable. And thankfully, organic is measurable.
Absolutely.
It is measurable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever, like, sometimes I post things to see which one gets the most traction and all that, And sometimes I post things that I don't feel like, they're that, attractive or whatever, and all of a sudden I get so much traction, on it. Sometimes I post a picture that I took, a professional picture, and it gets no traction. And then I go and post a picture of myself with my mother, and woo, everybody loves that. Because there's something that it communicated, You know, he cares about his mom. You know, he has a good relationship with his mother. He's like me. You know, so in a way for you to build that traction, like for example, like you guys have been talking about Afrigo, and now for me, I've never understood because they do the same songs. It's not like they really have any serious new material.
Yes.
They keep on doing the same songs, but you go unannounced, Afrigo is performing somewhere, and people are going to show up. Full house. You know. But there's also this thing that reminds people of Afrigo does songs that remind people where they were.
Even reputation.
You know, it's like it taps into nostalgic. It has something that it reminds people, and now that is where it comes down to the legacy thing. Build stuff of memory that's memorable. That when somebody listens to a song like Mpenzi, they remember. You know,
First give us the chorus. First give us the chorus. First give us the chorus.
Penzi, hakuna matata. Kila kitu kitawa sawa sawa. You know, there's a girl that's
memorable.
It is. There's a girl that I was talking to. She was young, and you know, I asked her like, "Do you know Swahili Nation?" She was like, "I know Swahili Nation." I remember that song because I was in this class and I was doing this and I was doing that. You know, that becomes
a song puts them in a place.
Exactly.
It puts
And that's how they measure.
That's how they exactly. So have you ever been in a place where there's a smell that you know creates a deja vu for you?
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I've been to this place.
Yeah.
You know, and so when you're creating, you want to create something that people are going to remember. It's going to take them to a place. It's going to be impactful enough. But, you know, but how do you teach that?
No, you don't.
You don't. Sometimes it's luck, man.
It's in it.
Yep.
It's you.
Yeah. Sometimes God just blesses you with that thing, and you just do that song, and it just changes everything.
I understand
for
that,
you.
but also not to really make this so long. We are trying to find a way,
right?
Because our small sector, creative sector, is littered with inconsistencies, with mediocrity. Yeah. We are trying to find a way if we can actually document, have formulas that can be replicated.
Yeah.
Like how the West is doing it.
Right.
Like how Jamaica seems to have a conveyor belt of so much.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
That's on the music side. But
Yes.
I mean, in everything creative.
Josh, in my view, I think we are part of that chaos. We are part of that mess. There'll be maybe 10, 20, 50 other groups like us who come and add another brick. And I mean, that's how you build.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So if we start comparing ourselves to certain cultures, certain countries, certain geographical markets, commercial markets, I think we're doing ourselves
A disservice.
Yeah. As a people, we know where we're coming from.
Yeah.
We know where we're coming from, the effects of that, and where we are right now, and we probably have an idea now of the reason we're having this conversation is I think there's clarity in terms of where we want
to be.
Yeah.
So we're playing our part.
Yep.
So now, closing.
Yes.
What do you want to leave?
I just want to leave.
Leave, as in when you're done.
Yes.
When the guy blows the trumpet.
Yes. I want to leave happy souls, happy people, happy memories.
How do you want them to remember you?
A guy who had a certain impact on my life, and I became this because I imitated or he inspired me to, I tried to follow 2, 3, 4 footsteps of his, and I became this. Or he did this for my child, or he did this for my son, or did this for my wife, or did this for my husband, or that sort of impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can't.
Like the energy has to be transferable.
And Ken, how do you want to be remembered? This is going to be your legacy. Yeah.
I want to be remembered as the guy who saw you when nobody else did. who believed in you when nobody else did.
Yeah.
Who took a shot at you and took a chance at you. And
Sure.
even when I was not in the right place, but I still gave of myself. You know, it's the stuff of service
To others.
to others.
Yeah.
So if I can pull somebody else, you know, because I see something in him, you know, and give him a shot. And one of the biggest problems in my industry is that we don't have enough people in this industry that can see others and hear others before that thing pops.
Yeah. Before they pull themselves out of the
Yes,
ditch.
before
Yeah.
they pull themselves out of the ditch. That people are consistently and constantly waiting for the guy who pulled himself out of the ditch.
To
We
help.
need more people that can pull people out of the ditch.
True.
And if I can be one of those guys that can give that hand, I'm happy with the legacy.
All right. Guys, you heard it. Thanks for showing up, Ken.
Thank you.
And out there, if you're watching, please, you know what to do now. What to do to build your legacy or to start the journey of having creative impact. You're not just creating content. You are actually building a legacy. Someone is going to know you for that guy
Something.
or that lady who used to throw this type of content on the timeline. And what impact did it have? Anyway, tell us what you think. Tell us what you're doing to contribute to your creative impact or creative imprint. This is Creative Chaos.